Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel, welcome. Today we're chatting about Cross. Kaizer Chiefs has basically bid for Golden Arrows, Bradley Cross, and we're going to be chatting about that. And towards the end of this video, we finally have a winner for the Kaizer Chiefs, Skipa. So if you want to see who became the winner of Skipa, just a number 10, just a number 10. Yeah, you will find out after this. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for those who support the channel. I really appreciate it. This thing of giving back a Kaizer Chiefs Skipa is my way of saying thank you for supporting me. It's the little that I have that I can give back to you guys, and hopefully we can have more of these competitions in future. But danke siyabonga, danke siyabonga. But let's get into it. Kaizer Chiefs have gone on basically tried to earn or signing basically Bradley Cross, the left back from Golden Arrows. This, for a lot of people who've watched Bradley Cross at Golden Arrows, is a good move. But you know what? Sometimes when this move happens, we need to give you some history. Now, so, Now, so, the history is this. Bradley Cross, what happened to him? Bradley Cross, about 2 years ago, Bradley Cross was basically maybe more than 2 years ago, was in England. This guy, his journey was that he started at Wits. That's where his journey was. He was a promising left back. He was known that he's going to be a future Bafana player. Bradley Cross basically was the next big South African defender. He was so good that somehow his agents got him to go to the UK, and this boy ended up joining Newcastle United. This boy was part of the Newcastle setup, and he played as a defender for the Newcastle, not the first team, but under 23, which is like the reserve team. And what ended up happening is that Bradley was so good that he ended up being selected to be the captain of Newcastle United, that is in England, UK. And when he was selected to be captain, he was basically in there and playing. But unfortunately for him, I think by the time it was meant for him to be promoted, like, things changed a lot. All of you who watch English football, you'll know that new owners came in, a lot more money came in, and they scrapped a lot of the promising young players that came through. And Bradley Cross was unfortunately one of the players, and the coach who ended up joining that time didn't really feel with Bradley Cross, so he ended up having to leave Newcastle. And then he tried to find clubs there in the Europe space, in the UK, but it didn't really happen that way. So Bradley Cross didn't have a team, and he was in the UK, so he decided, let me come back to South Africa and try again in the PSL team, because I was good enough to almost play in the EPL. It didn't happen, but that should definitely mean I'm good enough for the PSL. He came back to the PSL, and then he went to trial with SuperSport United. He trained with SuperSport United, trained, and then story came out, Bradley Cross is no longer training with SuperSport United, and Kevin Hunt at the time was saying he wanted to sign him, from what I remember, if I'm not mistaken. And then what happened? It turned out that Bradley Cross turned up at Kaizer Chiefs, and this was about 2 years ago. Bradley Cross turned up at Kaizer Chiefs, and I think it was at the time where we were being coached by Arthur Zwane, and they assessed him. Kaizer Chiefs assessed a free agent. Bradley Cross was a free agent, mahala. Bradley Cross trained with the team, I think, for close to a month or something like that. And he didn't, I guess it was others, or management or whatever, they didn't approve his assessment. And the boy didn't make his little trials at Kaizer Chiefs, and that was the end of Bradley Cross, and he left Kaizer Chiefs. He was no longer trialing. A lot of us were a bit shocked, because we knew the hype that was always around Bradley Cross, so we thought it will definitely happen. And at the time, we all know that we had a left back issue, which was Mashiani and Abotlante and stuff like that. So we all thought that, hey man, this guy, is he not good enough to come in? And Chiefs management at the time decided to say he's not good enough. But anyway, fast forward, the boy went to Golden Arrows and started winning man of the matches, was part of Bafana last year, I think around October, November. He was part of the squad that got called up because of his performances that he was giving for Golden Arrows. He was a star. And what happened is that a lot of people who remember the story of Bradley Cross being rejected were now crying, go to Bradley Cross must come to Chiefs. And people were like, Chiefs, man, what's wrong with our management? How did we lose Bradley Cross, whatever? And now Bradley Cross is coming to Kaizer Chiefs finally after 2 years, but he's still young, which is a good thing. I think he's still around 23. But the thing about Bradley Cross is that you need to understand what Bradley Cross is to Kaizer Chiefs before you get too excited. You need to understand, and this is why I want to be the person who's going to be realistic to everyone. Guys, the truth of this is that Bradley Cross is not Kaizer Chiefs' first choice left back. Bradley Cross is not Kaizer Chiefs' second choice left back. Bradley Cross is Kaizer Chiefs' not even third choice left back. Bradley Cross is Kaizer Chiefs' fourth choice left back. And now, Anders, I'll tell you why I say not even third. Let's start with number one. Kaizer Chiefs has been going in the market, and it's no secret. Even Basadin said he wants to join Kaizer Chiefs. We all know the story of Basadin. Basadin is one of the best left backs. He's even got called up to Bafana. Kaizer Chiefs tried their best to sign him. Stellenbosch wouldn't let him go. And that was Chiefs' number one target. Chiefs then moved on to their second target, which is Rian Hanamub. Rian Hanamub, they pushed. They also couldn't get from Amazulu, and I think this week he ended up signing a 3-year deal because Amazulu knew that Kaizer Chiefs is coming. So then Kaizer Chiefs decided that, okay, if they're starting to make him sign a 3-year deal, they're forcing us to pay more money for him. So Kaizer Chiefs was like, okay, we see grand guy. The third choice is the one who actually came up before Basadin and Rian Hanamub, and that was that boy. I think he's from Angola. There was an Angola left back, but apparently with that left back, that I think he was from Angola, his price money that he wanted for like salary was too high for Kaizer Chiefs, and Kaizer Chiefs wasn't gonna pay that amount of money for that left back, and they chose not to go in with that deal. So that's the third left back that Kaizer Chiefs was in the market for. Now, after all those three failed, they ended up with Bradley Cross. So my question is Bradley Cross good enough for Kaizer Chiefs, or have Kaizer Chiefs decided let's just sign him because in a crisis, and Golden Arrows is the only one willing to sell to us at a fair price? Because that's exactly what it is. It is because Bradley Cross was not choice number 1, not choice number 2, not choice number 3, but he ended up being choice number 4. Do you understand what I'm saying? And even to extend it even more, to make you guys even understand it even more, he's technically even choice number 5, if we have to be honest. Because if Bongani Sam didn't get injured, and Edmilson Dove didn't get injured, then chances are we wouldn't be chatting this much about about Chiefs signing Bradley Cross, because we would have had Bongani Sam and Edmilson Dove. But Chiefs now had a crisis because they have 2 guys who can play left back who got injured. Then they also have Mashiani, who isn't good enough to play left back. So Chiefs had to go and definitely sign a better left back. But now who did they come up to? Basically choice number 5, which is Bradley Cross. Is he a good player? Yes. But is he good enough for Kaizer Chiefs? It is yet to be seen. We saw what he could do for Golden Arrows, but I always say this, and now please understand me correctly, understand me. Do you guys watch Golden Arrows every week? Do you guys praise Golden Arrows every week? Meaning Bradley Cross can have an off game at Golden Arrows and no one would care. No one would care. But Kaizer Chiefs agna off game. So because Bradley Cross can shine against Sundowns, people were thinking that he's a good player. Because he can shine against Pirates, people think he's a good player. But there are 16 teams in this league. The other 15 teams, you also have to do well in them. If you're not going to include Pirates or Sundowns, the other 13 teams, you need to also do well. I can't, with confidence, say Bradley Cross dominated all the other 13 teams. That I cannot say. Yes, he had good performances, but was he consistent? Was it every game? I can't say, because I've watched him and as he was okay, but his style of play reminds me of A lot of you will remember these players, a combination of almost like a Keegan Ritchie and Gilbert. If you guys remember the white Gilbert left back, he looks like a combination of those two. Good technically with the left foot, like Keegan Ritchie, has better pace, almost close to Gilbert, but not really the kind of left back who maybe will dominate the league. But at the same time, under Nabi is probably going to get the best out of a lot of players, and that may be also Cross. So that is what I have to say about that, guys. And for some reason I'm being saying Bradley Cross, and his name is Bradley Cross. You know what? A lot of you are going to say, Mara, how don't you know his name? But I think it's Bradley Cross, but I know Cross is the surname. But if I'm mistaken on the first name, you'll forgive me if I've been saying it throughout the whole video. Amakhosi for life. Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Now today it's time of the draw, Baba. Time of the draw for those people who became members and wanted to participate in the draw. Nazorge. The people we have 8 participants. It's gonna be Bongani Ngongo, Hupoto Moke, Temba Avela, DJ Stigzo, Kolani Diamond, Mbongeni Nyawo, and TSGEE. These are the members that are part of the membership and who will be part of this draw. This is a wheel that I got from the internet, so it's what I got, and the best way I could try to decide the draw is this way. So get ready, guys. I wish one of you guys can say that, but anyway, let's get into it. As Shayla man, Nazok, spin the wheel. Who is going to win? It is DJ Stigzo! Stigzo is winning a Kaizer Chiefs Skipa. Stigzo, you know what it is. You have to contact me on Instagram and let's get that Skipa to you. But what you also have to do, DJ Stigzo, is that you have to give us a picture of yourself with that Skipa once it's done. Danko, Stigzo, Stiga.